Studios and Tandor both very involved with the organization and casting of the event. In the right-hand side, we've got Mini, aka Tandor, and up top, Unprecedented Studios. I'm assuming Mini's your favorite Brood War player, Tandor. Have you been watching the latest ASL? I was about to say something about Mini, but I was like, wait, I don't want to spoil if Tandor hasn't seen it yet. Looking at these decks, both players running Boar, Falcon, Squirrel. I haven't played a ton of the new patch, but what I gather is I think most of what Mini or Tandor is running here is pretty bread and butter. I would say maybe not the lizards. I feel like that might be Tandor's style on this deck. I think lizards got a little bit of a nerf compared to where they were last patch. I think they're still viable, but Mass Squirrel, Mass Cam is very strong right now that could outclass the lizards. Lizards are one of these interesting units, though, that were, even if you kind of nerf their stats, like the utility that the lizard gives is so huge. I mean, I've seen it time and time again through various patches and iterations of Tooth and Tail. You know, where even when the lizard isn't the best unit pound for pound, I mean, the fact that you can just go into like 30 lizards, you can base race with them, you can do big flank attacks, which are kind of hard to pull off in Tooth and Tail because of the way that you control units. I mean, all that kind of utility really makes lizards shine, even when they aren't at their fullest balance potential, I suppose. Oh yeah, you've been watching. Okay, yeah. What is it? I was surprised Mini got knocked out, man. I guess he chose Light into his group, which is hilarious. That's kind of like choosing Tatanka to get into your group or something, you know. A very, very bold move to choose the best player. Generally with group selections, and we did a group selection in this tournament as well, but you want like the weakest people, right? That's your advantage of being able to choose the group. You want to make your group the easiest that you can, and I think Mini chose Light, which is just kind of crazy. Studio's coming in here with a big rush. These moles not doing too bad, starting to get some pigs. So this is where the real damage shines. Tandor was defending pretty well. Actually, this last pig living is quite nice. Tandor on the way to some cams, though, so this counterattack could be pretty big. One cam already here for Tandor. He's trying to find a good angle to attack in away from the Warrens. Tandor deciding whether or not he's got enough. Gonna leverage this cam here on the front for the big counterattack, and yeah, that mole push from Studios, I think he really needed to get that second pig. That one pig worth of damage might not have been enough. I think he took some okay trades, though. And we'll see. He deals with that first cam pretty nicely. And is Tandor going to commit to the Chameleons? He is. He's going to go ahead and grab an expansion as well. So I'm curious what Studios is doing. He's building a bunch of moles at home. Generally, when we see these mole warrens go down, that's an indication of a big attack coming in. But they're placed so defensively. I'm curious if Studios just wants these moles as part of his comp. No, here he comes, moving in. He's got a pretty decent army here, but Tandor's got 2 Chameleons. He's also got some mines. Let's see if Studios can take the right angle. Attacking against sometimes can be pretty rough. All right, Studios moving in, trying to target down these Chameleons. But I believe Tandordraco's going to hold just fine. I really like the decision, too. I hark on this all the time of, like, you know what? You might as well buy a fresh farm rather than remake this one that was already taken. I mean, this isn't the best example of that because this farm actually does have a lot of wheat still on it. Oh, no. I need more mods in chat, I guess. I feel like I have a lot of mods, but one of these buy followers bots got through. Who wants to be a mod? I'm in a good mood today. I'm going to give out a sword. Does anybody actually buy followers? You know? It seems like a really good business strategy, right? If you have to buy followers, maybe maybe this isn't for you. How would that translate to it's like, I don't know, if you're running like a burger joint. Is that like buying customers? Okay, so that last attack from Studios didn't quite do enough. Let's see, Studios is working. Got the second base. 5-minute mark just hit. So honestly, this game's relatively close. Studios needs to get the second base up and running, but he's not too far behind. Interesting going for the Falcons here. Looks like Studios wants to play Mass Squirrel into Falcon. Meanwhile, Tandordraco getting up to double cam. And 4 cams is where it really gets nasty. I mean, that's just so much HP to try to chew through, as well as, of course, the damage output of the Chameleons. So maybe the Falcons can help leverage against that. They will burst pretty quickly. Studio's actually going for Skunks, which Skunks are a little bit out of style this patch. They got nerfed slightly, but let's see. 4 Skunks feels like a pretty strong commitment, especially since Mini isn't going that crazy on Tier 1. But with some good choke and maybe with some good pre-gas and stuff, they can get the job done. I mean, one thing to think about too with Skunks, especially really when you get up to 4 cams or Skunks, I feel like. I mean, they just have so much HP to have to chew through. Both players being pretty diligent on the scouting so far. This map is very in-your-face scrappy, in my opinion. I mean, either side could try to take a third, but it just seems awkward. I mean, Studio's third would be right here, very short attack distance from Tandor, maybe even on the low ground here. Tandor's third would be down here in the 6 o'clock, which actually seems a little bit better in my opinion. It would be harder for Studios to scout that nice lizard run by here. Yeah, this is the advantage of taking these lizards. I actually really like just having the 6 too, because it's like, if you lose 6 lizards trying to do these kind of esports harassy plays, it's not the end of the world. Whereas if you lost 12 lizards, something like that, you might be open to a counterattack. Alright, Tandor looking like he's ready to move out. Got that Cam Falcon. Neither side committing to the boar. I'm kind of curious why. Maybe not enough Tier 1 on the ground. I mean, the boar kind of does not work as well against Tier 2. Nothing like a snake here to really hard counter that boar, but I think Falcons would do just fine. It would also kind of be hard to throw that down. Tandor again, trying to get some harassment going. Love to see stuff like this. Pretty risky though. If Studios catches on, losing 4 cams would be game ending. So yeah, it kind of makes sense to me. No boars here just yet. It wouldn't be too bad to just kind of round out a late game army. It looks like Studios is going to go for it now. But yeah, I mean, with all the Tier 2 on the field, not a lot of Tier 1. Plus, it's pretty easy to scout each other on this map. It's a little bit hard to really hide anything. I like Tandor's army positioning right here. It would make it hard to come up here and scout. Not that he's really hiding anything, but just to give the illusion. Good job from Studios here, realizing Tandor is going to try to come through with the cam snipe. Now, this could be huge. Even if that board warren goes down, all these cams should die. A couple of them are actually living. Studios needs to get that stealth reveal. Looks like he'll get it right here. And this is Studios' opportunity to counterattack. Does not have a lot of Tier 1 to back this army up, but so much Tier 2. And this is where the handy-dandy moles come in to reinforce that front. This is going to be a hard defense from Tandor. Trying to wait for the right engagement, but the longer he waits, the more skunk gas gets on the field. But still, just the lack of Tier 1 here from Studios and on a patch where squirrels are so powerful is pretty rough. And there's so many Falcons still here in the air. Yeah, Studios just does not have enough units that could hit up. Maybe he didn't target down the opponent's Falcons or really consider that enough there in the early game. Or in the early bit of that match. It's a shame Studios had such a good window there, right? Killing the 4 cams. It couldn't seal the deal. But again, honestly, I think it's just because the lack of Tier 1 there from Studios. And yeah, you can make those moles, but the moles aren't going to shoot up, and Tandor had 4 Falcons. So kind of weird, right? Like, I don't blame Studios for that attack there. He just didn't quite have the right things to do it. Okay, let's get into match number 2. Spawning on the bottom left, we've got Tandor, and over in the top right, Studios. Studios grabbing the cams this time, dropping the Falcons. Meanwhile, Tandor gonna get rid of the lizards for the turrets. Interesting map. I think it's okay. I mean, pretty obvious natural base for Tander. Studios pretty much has a pocket base, which is nice. It's not technically a pocket base, but close enough. This base here, I don't really imagine will get taken. And we kind of have this mill in the 4 o'clock that either player could kind of fight over as a third base if necessary. So kind of interesting. Both players going to get that second base pretty easily. Seems like one viable third base for either side. And again, I don't think this mill really can be taken. If Studios is able to get this mill up, I feel like he just kind of wins the game. And what's Tander up to? 7 farm cam. All right. Tander going to try to globetrotter here on Studios. That's interesting. 7 farm cam. I think it... I feel like if Studios really hard committed to like a squirrel mole push, is the rush distance short enough to where he can just kill Tander? I guess we're gonna find out. I don't know. Maybe the third Squirrel Warren makes more sense than more moles. Well, Tander does have the turrets. Yeah, that should shut this down, actually. Tander might be baiting Studios into overcommitting here. I mean, this was a very greedy cam opening. But I think attacking into this turret is bad. Ooh, weakening that cam, but it gets away. That's also really rough for Studios. I think this only is working because that turret. Otherwise, it would be too greedy. Oh my god, Tander. Gonna micro around, try to kill that Warren. He doesn't kill it, but he forces the sell. Yeah, I think the turret is really why this worked. Interesting. That was a fun little early game. So Studio's gonna come back, get his own cams. I don't think it was the end of the world for Studios. I think Tander traded more cost-effective there, especially because that one cam lived with like 2 HP. That was very unfortunate for Studios and good control by Tander. I think if that cam would have died, it would have been a bit more even. But right now, Tander definitely has a lead, and he's got the tech lead, which is pretty huge. I mean, cams are king this patch. 2 cams threatening to come out, but it is a little bit difficult to attack in just with Chameleon Squirrel. Studio should be fine defending for the most part. And I like this response from Studio. Kind of hoping Tander doesn't attack right here, right now. Getting up the second cam more. A nice scout there from Tandor. Gotta see exactly what's going on. And Tander's actually got a lot of farms on the second base too, so I really like the way that he played this. I'm glad he didn't decide to go in and attack. I probably would have tried that with the double cam early on. But I think this is a good way to just keep the lead. And Tander gonna go right into this board Warren. So I think Tander realizes that he's a little bit ahead. Feels like Studios can't really attack him right now. Gonna get that board Warren, and Studios really doesn't have anything to deal with the board Warren outside of his own boar. The skunks here, not gonna do much. From the tier 2 side, you really need those snakes or falcons to deal with that. Oh, I gotta make Tander. Didn't you say you'd be a mod? Oh, Ziggy's here. Ziggy with the band. Nice. Another bot. Make me mod. Yeah, I'll mod you, Tandor. It's fine. We do have Ziggy, though. Shoot, how do I add a mod? /mod. Tander. Draco. Oh, yeah, he's got one. Tander's got a sword now. But thanks, Ziggy. Ziggy's on top of it. Alright, so I feel like Tander's just about to win with this big board push. Did Studios ever scout it? He has not. It's kind of hard to get in here and scout with all the army in the linear base progression here. But Boar also seems really strong this patch. You know, especially if it kind of blindsides you. I think it makes sense because from what I take and from what I've gotten talking to, you know, a couple good players, like the skunks being a little bit weak this patch allows mass squirrel to be more of a thing, and then therefore boar is also a thing, right? Because if your opponent's building a bunch of squirrels, well, build a boar. This attack from Tandor looks game ending. Let's see if Studios can do something. Good boar control up front, already toasting down a lot of those tier 1 units. And Tandor is just going to run right through here. Nice decision making from Tandor. I think he played the early game well. It was a little bit risky going for the 7 farm cams, but it was also like a debate to get Studios to attack in, which he did. But with the turrets, with the mines, Tandor could take that more cost effectively. I think if Studios would have killed... I think the first cam got away with like 2 HP, and if Studios would have been able to kill that cam, it might have been the damage he needed to turn that into a real match. But Tandor allowing that to live, and then I really like the way that Tandor progress the game after that. Just get the second base up, get into the board war, and end it out. Well done there. And that, I believe, is the winner's match in Group A. So Tandor will be advancing out of the group stage. Congratulations to Tandor. And then Studios is not out yet. Studios still has the opportunity to come back in the loser's match here.